Welcome to another edition of Walton Entertainment. Today we'll have more news, information, and entertainment from your local hometown.
As you can see, there are quite a few people downtown Monroe to cheer on the Hurricanes. And that's the end of our parade, and now we'll go to the pep rally.
What's up? What is that? Where we beat Loganville? So tomorrow night we're going to have a
You got a beer.
money from that goes back to the team, which is amazing.
Y'all dug down.
Money comes back to the team. So anything you want to buy,
I'm going first.
but while we're waiting, everybody just take it easy and clap for those canes.
Stephanie here? Yeah. You want to go stand with Stephanie? Never mind. I got this 9-10-year-old ready to pack.
Mimi, Shelby, Avery.
Welcome to the 2018 Monroe Area High School Hurricane Blowout Parade. Let's give a big round of applause for our Hurricane athletes, band members, cheerleaders, color guard. Start off tonight, I'd like to thank the City of Monroe, Downtown Development Authority, the Monroe Police Department, our school SRO, all the city workers it takes to put on this incredible event. And with that said, I'd like to recognize tonight, to bring us our welcoming, our Mayor, John Howard.
Hey everybody, thank you for coming. Welcome to football season. I have a little bet that I have placed with the mayor down the street. Deep in enemy territory. And I need the sweatiest, nastiest guy on the team tomorrow night, after we win, to come give me that jersey, because Ray Martinez is going to be wearing that as he parades around Loganville on Monday. I need one favor from every single one of you. I need 5 friends from each of you tomorrow night. Each of you bring 5 friends. I don't want anybody from Loganville to have a place to sit at the Purple Pit. Got it? I expect big things out of you. Like Coach Bryant said when he was coaching Alabama, he said, look guys, I want you to get in the backfield. I want to pound him into the dirt. I want you to help him back up and tell him to be right back. I expect our defense to be dominating tomorrow, and I expect some points to be put on the board, because points are pretty entertaining too. Guys, this is a great year. It's a great time to be in Monroe. We've got a great spirit here. We've got infrastructure projects going on. We have a grocery store coming. And we are going to have one of the top football teams in the state this year. So get out tomorrow night, support the guys in purple. I'm excited to be here, and I can't wait to see you all tomorrow night.
Big thanks to Mayor Howard. Monroe leadership is in great hands. As he said, all the great projects. We're very excited about the direction of Monroe and downtown especially. And on that note, that parade was awesome, wasn't it? I hope you saw that awesome wagon at the beginning there, that cane wagon. And I'd like to give a big special thanks to the Rowe family for turning that trailer into a wonderful wagon to help all of our coaches for our football team, and it's just a great show of our support from our community.
Hello, Walton County. This is Kevin Little with the Chairman's Report on Channel 16 and 18.2 on Walton Entertainment. Excited to be here today and talk to you about several things going to be coming forward in Walton County and some things that's happening around. At the recent board meeting, the Board of Commissioners did approve the millage rate for the going forward. The millage rate is the same as last year. We rolled it back last year and we were able to keep it the same this year. We first originally thought we were going to have to raise it anywhere from a half mil to a mil, but we were very excited to be able to do that. You still potentially may have a tax increase just depending on if your property values went up or not, but it is 10.905. And if you will look at any counties surrounding us, they're all in the 11s to 15 range, so except for Oconee. So we're doing very well with your tax dollars. We are being very astute with your money and spending it wisely. So to try to keep your services that you demand out there in tip top. We also later this year will be having a splosh continuation coming on. The cities and the county have worked together. Majority of this splosh is going to be transportation, trying to get the roadways to be multi-lanes, some intersection improvements and such as that to try to move you through these traffic signals and try to move you where we have a lot of congestion. We're working also with DOT on that. They are following the vote in November. They will be putting some money to it to help out as Walton County continues to grow. If you ride around the county, we are wide open again, building houses in the cities and in the county. Subdivisions are popping everywhere, and most of the land that was there prior to the crunch is being taken back up, and the subdivisions are coming, so that means more traffic. So you need to really look at this splosh and see what's going on with the road expansions. Did want to talk to you, I know the Nancy Drew movie got here at a bad time and caused a lot of traffic congestion and caused some people to be upset downtown and around the county. But we do have a group that's going to do a thing called Queen Fur. It's a Showtime series, and they're going to be filming downtown, and then they're going to have one afternoon on the courthouse square. But they're going to have a paced traffic. It won't be any closing down, but that's coming here late in August or very early in September, depending on how the work, but it's only like a day or two. It's not going to be any long time period there. But we are going into the fall season now, so if you see any problems or any things that on the roads or ditches, please make sure you give us a call. It's hard to get around 800 and something miles of roads, and you may see something that we don't, and make us aware of it where we can try to help you and the traveling public. So if you have any questions or concerns, please give me a call, 770-267-1316. Thank you.
Cottonwood Farms is located on a rolling 30 acres in Newton County, right outside Covington, Georgia. Owners Ken and Terry Justice have a passion for both people and horses, and that brought them here to Cottonwood Farms in 2009.
I had horses when I was younger, and he enjoyed riding horses when he was in the Army. And my passion is for special needs children because I'm a retired special educator. And we have the Newton County Special Olympics equestrian team that we work with. So in the combination of all that, we decided that we wanted this facility.
Caring for the horses both in maintenance and in training, also giving lessons to those who want to learn to ride the horses, is the job of Amy, who's the barn manager and trainer, who says horses has been a love of her life for a long time.
I was one of those horse crazy kids growing up. I loved horses, and my dad said I just never grew out of it. And so I kind of just was drawn to them, and actually for a while I didn't even pursue them, but then I felt led to kind of go back to horses, and God really just put them in my path in different ways, and He's the one that really orchestrated me being here. I never dreamed I would move to Georgia, but I absolutely love it here and wouldn't imagine living anywhere else right now. And they've really touched my life. I have totally changed in the my self-confidence has grown immensely as I've learned about horses, and they've really touched my life. And when I'm having a bad day or things aren't going right, all I need to do is go out and meet and hang out with one of the horses or ride, and it kind of just levels out how I feel. And so I wanted to share that with other people and share the love that I have for them with other people. And so that's kind of what brought me to where I am now and why I'm so passionate about it today.
It was a great day at the farm. If you're looking for somewhere to take your family for a great day with horses, I recommend Cottonwood Farms. Check them out for more information at cottonwoodfarmllc.com. Want to give a special thanks to my friend Lynn Andreski, who took her first riding lesson today. She did great.
Well, how was it?
Baby. Awesome. It's like being a kid again. I learned a lot in that short time.
We'll sign her up for our show.
Exactly.
Thanks a lot for tuning in today. We're going to show you some of the dogs and cats that are available for adoption here at Walton County Animal Control. You know, we're still kind of in the midst of summer. It's those dog days of summer. Still really hot out. But you know, the days begin to shorten, and that triggers animals to go into heat. Right now in our shelter, we have 3 dogs that are in heat. We have a whole bunch of pit bulls, and so that kind of reveals a problem that we have here in Walton County. You know, you really need you to be a responsible pet owner and have your animals spayed. There's so many low-cost options now. One of those is Paradox Spay-Neuter Clinic. It's in Walnut Grove. You can get dogs fixed for less than $75. Cats can be done for $55 or less. We're talking major surgery for under $100. You can't beat it. There's no excuse to not get it done. That'll take care of some of those females that are in heat. That'll keep all those unwanted puppies coming into the shelter, that some of them are even euthanized if we can't find homes. So do the responsible thing and have your pet spayed or neutered. The other thing, we have all the pit bulls in the shelter. Those are really hard for us to find homes for. So you've got to do the responsible thing. If you own a pit bull, have her spayed. Better than low cost is free. Paradox Spay-Neuter Clinic does a program called Fixable, where they will spay your pit bull for absolutely free. You can get more information by going to their website, paradoxspayneuter.com, or calling them at 770-972-5067. Again, this is for pit bulls in Walton County. It's free service to have your pit bull spayed. The shelter just doesn't need any more of those. They don't need to be out there running loose. There's no need to breed them to sell them because there seems to be pit bulls everywhere. And so now we're going to show you some of the dogs and cats that are needing homes here at the shelter.
Here we have a pit. It's a male. He's about 3 years old, not neutered.
This is Kiera. She is a 1-year-old black lab mix, and she is ready for adoption today. She's had all of her shots and has been dewormed, and she has a very good temperament. She loves other dogs and kids.
This is a little Min Pan mix male. He's probably about 2 or 3 years old. He seems to get along with other dogs. Not sure about cats, and he's very sweet.
We've got kittens. This one is a male, about 6 to 8 weeks old. This one's a female, same age. They are litter mates. Looking for a good home.
We got kittens. They're probably about 3 or 4 months old, a male and a female. Very sweet, need a home fast.
%80 of the names I've written down will be in Superior Court by the time they're 21. Because when somebody's always taking up for them about everything instead of letting them deal with the consequences, they will have difficulty as adults. And that, I'm not saying parents shouldn't stand up for their children, they should, but there's a time and a place. And you know, they always talk about we need to teach values in school. It's not very hard. If you cheat, you get a 0. You don't get to make that up, all right?
you get the grade that you earned. I always wanted to be a lawyer. I'm one of these few people that when I was young, that's what I wanted to do. I just wanted to be a lawyer. Didn't know you got to work. I just thought you get to wear a suit, walk around. And I got lucky. I practiced law in Moultrie for a couple of years, and my wife was from Chattanooga, sort of went closer to her home. And so we came up here. The late Mr. A.R. Barksdale hired me. I worked for him for a while. And then I became the public defender because I wanted to try cases. And then there were some different folks talking about running for judge, and I'm thinking, I don't want to be in front of them if they're going to be the judge. I don't know if their wood has seasoned enough. They were younger than I was. So I decided, well, why not? And I got some friends of mine talked me into running. I'm glad they did. So that was in 1998. I got elected unopposed. So I started in 99. I've been fortunate. In May, I get elected to my 5th term. People really don't want to come to court. And yet, so I'm not in the happiness business. That's sort of my quote. That comes from within. But I hope my job is try to solve problems for them best I can. Sometimes if it's criminal, they may be going to prison. They may get probation. If it's a divorce, we may try to figure out what's going to work for their family situation, who gets the children, who gets the house, how we're going to pay for all this. And then when people have accidents and they have lawsuits about that, to try to give everybody a fair shake. You know, you just got to enjoy life. Not be ugly, not be mad all the time, and I think that sort of comes from it. You know, you look for you try to look for the good, you look for the fun in things, and you just sort of, that means I think people can poke fun at me. And so I sort of can poke fun back. And the chamber's going to quit asking me to do this at some point in time because I sort of tease with the folks that come there, with the folks that are there. I just sort of, I don't know where it comes from. Sometimes I probably say things that are inappropriate. Well, I know I do. But, I've always had a good sense of humor. If they do a case from beginning to end, it gives people real appreciation for what court is like. Now, Judge Judy, Judge Joe Brown, some of the other, the late Judge Wapner, some of those may not give everybody a divorce court where they see 10 minutes of them, see the judge just screaming at everybody. That's probably not a true reflection. But if they get to see an entire trial, yeah, they do. What that has done is that's created an industry for all these folks that, I don't know what kind of lawyers they were, but they get to give comments about what everybody else is doing. To some extent, yeah, it's been positive, but to some extent, no. Everybody needs to take themselves just a slightly less seriously, but have good manners. I know it sounds crazy, but good manners is why I have a lot of court, or the lack of them. It's because people can't say, excuse me, do you mind if I step in front? Or, I'm sorry, I didn't know, were you in line? You know, whether it's in line to get a hamburger, people get mad, or people cut each other off on the highway, or anything like that. People can't say, look, you're right, I made the mistake, I apologize. I'm not saying my bad, but just that kind of thing. And also, there are always consequences for one's conduct. And with the internet, with Facebook, and with everybody wanting to share selfies, everybody wants to take a picture of themselves, somebody's going to send some information to somebody about the activity. Now, people shouldn't go around living their life in fear of doing something wrong, but they should take a deep breath and think, where do they want to be a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years? Some people don't see a future, so they think just right now. I need to do it now. But if they can just sort of visualize where they want to be in a few years, they may pause just a little bit before they take that step and do something they shouldn't do. Education is the most important thing. Getting up every day and going to work, going to school.
Hi, this is Jody Johnson. I'm here with the Recreation Report. Glad to see that fall is getting close by, which means for most of us that are big Georgia fans, that means it's football season. With that being said, on August 18th, we kick off our recreation football season here with our annual jamboree. We bring all of our teams to Felker Park and to West Walton Park, and we do kind of half games for each team. Just to let them get acclimated to the season, and then we start our season on August 20th and 21st. Usually play most of our games during the week, except for the jamborees and our homecomings. And the reason we do that is, one, a lot of our teams do like to go on weekends to the Georgia games or watch college football, and really the main reason is because of the officials. It's very tough to get good high school type officials on weekends or even on Thursdays and Fridays. Obviously, it's very tough. So we do play most of our games on Mondays and Tuesdays from now until about mid-October, when our season winds up. So if you have some free time, you want to watch some good youth football, these are the kids that will eventually be playing for your high schools, whether you're at Monroe area, George Walton, Social Circle, Loganville High Schools, Walnut Grove. These are the kids that are going to come up. We have kids from age 5 to age 12 that play in our program, so some good youth football for you to come watch. We'll also be starting our fall baseball and softball and soccer programs, and they all start also on August 20th and run through about mid-October is what our season runs to. And like always, when one season is starting, we start looking towards our next program, which is our basketball registration. And again, I want to let you know that you can do that online, and we'll start registering on September 10th through the 15th. You can do that in-house at Meridian or at Felker Park or down at South Walton Park, or for your convenience, you can go to do the online registration at waltoncountyga.gov. I'll hold up a flyer here in a few minutes and let you know. One big change this year for our basketball program, and this happens periodically in youth sports, they changed the control date. And what a control date is, means the date on which, how old you are on that control date is then the age group that you play. And every once in a while they change those control dates from September 1st, traditionally when school starts, to January 1st, to some May 30th for baseball and softball. So that control date is all over the place. And once again, our basketball, which is done through Georgia Recreation and Parks Association, has changed it to September 1st, which means in past years it was January 1st. So some kids that were playing, say, in the 9 and 10-year-old division, they would have to move up. Now there's about 6 months of kids' birthdays that will be able to roll back into to playing that age group again. Is that good or bad? It's the same for everyone. So that is just a new rule that's coming into place. So if you're one of those kids or parents that signed their kids up and you said, well, this is a second year in 9 and 10s, and but by the new control date, he gets a third year. So don't be surprised if your child falls in that category, because that's something we will be implementing this year. Obviously, everybody has the opportunity if they want to play up in age, but I always recommend staying within your age group, because it somewhat is, by the September 1st rule, it is somewhat by the school, so you'll be playing by grade mostly. So look forward to that. And again, if you have any questions about online registration, go on our website, create an ID, so that every time you go back in, it'll be much quicker for you to register for that program. And I do want to remind everybody, it's September 10th through the 15th to register for basketball. So that's coming up real soon, and the average cost is around $75 to play in our youth basketball program, which we'll end up having around 1,000 kids sign up, which is a huge youth basketball program. I also want to remind you about all the other programs that we have going on here in Walton County. Our community centers are really growing rapidly, and a lot of people are coming into our programs. We have added in to our website a unique feature for those that maybe you can't go to senior aerobics, or you are shut in, or you just want to see what it's about before you attend senior aerobics. And I would encourage everyone to try to come to senior aerobics if you're age 55 and older and need to get active and fit. Go to senior aerobics. But if you want to see what it's about, you can go on our website now, and we have, I think, 3 different classes that we have recorded that you can watch and enjoy the music. Maybe you just want to get active. So it's just another way for Walton County to stay fit. So I encourage you to go to our website, waltoncountyga.gov, and go to the senior aerobics class. Watch that video. They're less than an hour. Great music and some good information on there for you to stay fit. So again, I want to encourage everyone to come out to the weather's wonderful right now with the cooler temperatures starting to cool down a little bit. Come out and watch some of our youth sports. We have some great parks that you can come by, get some exercise by walking around, watch some of the youth sports. If you're looking for some volunteer opportunities, we have those also. Come in and volunteer. All you have to do is come in and take a background check from our staff. They will record that, and then we would love to have you come and volunteer. We're in dire need of good role models for a lot of our youth sports. So, because we're looking for people that know things about the sports, but we're really looking for someone that's a good role model for our kids to show them not only how to participate in those sports, but how to participate in life. So, we always want to tell people that sportsmanship always starts at home, and that is with the child's parents and neighbors, friends, churchgoers. It starts with you guys. So please help us out with the sportsmanship. And until next time, thank you very much.
Hello, I'm Kenny Sargent here with Keep Walton Beautiful, the Walton County Recycling Center. I want to thank everyone for tuning in today. Wanted to touch on a few different things. First off, you may notice when you come into the center, we now have a new oil drum for used motor oil, transmission fluid, and gear oil. It's basically the same concept. It's in the same place as the old drum. Just wanted to make you aware that that is what it is, and all you'll have to do is lift up the lid on it in order to put your oil and fluids into. The old drum had just gotten old and worn out and was starting to leak, so we were able to get a new drum in there. Should be a lot easier for you to maneuver. So anyway, wanted to make you aware of that so you'd know to look for it and know what it was when you got here. One of the other things is, we quit accepting the TVs, which probably been over a month now, and we're still getting quite a few that are getting dumped in the boxes over there. Just wanted to remind everyone, we will take TVs to be thrown away, but we're no longer able to recycle those. So when those get stuck in the boxes, we get stuck with the tab on those. So please try to refrain from putting those in the recycling, and just take them across the scale, weigh them in, dump them out back, and come back around to weigh out. Just please try to help us with that. The other thing, we've talked about it a little bit already, is just to remember that our Rivers Alive event is October 13th. That's on a Saturday. If you or anyone you know or a group you're associated with is interested in volunteering for our cleanup, and it is a great opportunity for a pretty good cleanup, give us a call here at the center, 770-267-1421. We'd be happy to give you details, help you find some locations, get you some supplies, some t-shirts, and all that sort of thing. So feel free to give us a call about that. We've had a few calls about our paint collection event that we normally have around America Recycles Day. We have got a tentative date set for that for November the 17th, so just be keeping that in mind, and we'll have more details as everything gets kind of set in stone. We're hoping to put a couple of other things along with the paint collection. Don't know what those things are yet. But as I said, we will make sure we keep you posted as we go forward. So keep an eye on that. Again, the tentative date for that is November 17th, and we normally start about 8 a.m. and stay until about lunch, till about 12. So That's some of the things we have coming up. I'll keep you posted on that as we go forward and everything gets set in stone. If you've never been to our center before, want to find out more about some volunteer opportunities, want to begin recycling or recycling new things that you aren't able to do with your private haulers at home, give us a call. Come out to our center. Let us walk you around and show you some of the things you could be recycling and maybe some things you could be doing a little bit differently at home. But come on out, visit us. We like to show what a resource we are for Walton County citizens, and the best way to do that sometimes is to talk to people and give them an idea of how maybe they could approach some of their recycling and environmental issues a little differently than they may be doing presently. So until next time, take care. Thank you.
Welcome to another edition of Through the Camera. I'm your photographer, Dare Leverage. This week we head out to the local airport to meet up with a special pilot of a DC-3. This is the American Airlines flagship plane.
The airplane was built during the latter part of 1936, and it went to American and was delivered to American in early 37 and actually went to work for American March the 2nd of 1937. It is the oldest DC-3 still flying out of the 14,000 built. It is a real honor to fly the airplane, and you don't want to break it. People ask me how the DC-3 is to fly, and I say slow. That's the short answer. Then they say, well, really, what's it like? And I say, in the air, the DC-3 is a refined and distinguished old lady. But on the ground, it's the Wicked Witch of the East. Because there's no nose wheel steering like they have in modern airplanes. And the airplane functions as a weather vane on the ground. Any little wind makes it want to turn around into the wind. And you have no steering other than the throttles, which are spinning 1,200 horsepower engines up and down is a pretty awkward way to guide something on the ground. So it's a little awkward on the ground for people who don't have a lot of experience in it. But it has served the aviation world well for 76 years now.
Thanks for joining us for another edition of Through the Camera. I'm your photographer, Dare Leverage, reminding you, go out this weekend and have some fun. Grab the family, grab a camera, and go grab some memories.
Hi, welcome to Monroe Walton Center for the Arts. For a moment today, I'd like to talk about the kind of ongoing, regular, monthly events that we have going on so that you can kind of keep track with us as we are doing these fun events every month. So on the first Saturday of every month, we have kids, pizza, and painting parties with Donna Kaufman. Those are almost always a sellout. So if you're interested in that, you need to contact us so we can put you on the email list. And so you'll get first notice of the painting and pizza parties. That's the first Saturday of the month from 12 to 2. The other regular ongoing things we have are the first Thursday of the month. We have Walton Writers that meets here. That's a free event. You don't have to be a member or anything. If you're a writer, interested in writing, any kind of creative writing, whether nonfiction, fiction, poetry, anything of that nature, come on in. It's the first Thursday of the month at 6:30. And they sometimes have a critique group, sometimes they have speakers, but it's a really popular time. We usually have a good crowd here for that. On the second Saturday of the month, this is new for us. We just had our first one this past week, and it was a standing room only crowd. So we have on the second Saturday of the month from 7 to 9 p.m., we will have open mic night, and we feature stand-up comedy, music. We had storytellers, poetry reading, brief readings from short stories. It was just a fabulous time. Everybody had a great time. Our feedback was great. Everybody is looking forward to that. Again, that's a free event. Just come, second Saturday of the month. Look at our website to see what the updates are of who we're expecting. If you're interested in a spot in open mic, contact us and we'll get back to you. We have our fiber show opening in September. That's our next show. Right now we have the Georgia Places and Country Roads. It's fabulous. It's here till August 25th. But in September we have our fiber show and it is fabulous. We have all kinds of events scheduled. We have free demonstrations. We're going to have mohair goats out on the lawn and spinning wheel demonstrations, classes. So it's a fiber-full September. All kinds of classes, all centering around the ancient and new traditions that involve fiber. If you think of our grandparents, quilting bees and sewing and weaving and those kinds of things, but also translated into modern art forms that include even jewelry. So be sure to come by. You can pick up a bookmark with our events and demonstrations and free things that we have going on during September. Of course, we have our ongoing kids and adult classes. Our after-school art program starts the week of Labor Day, so find out about that. Come on in, give us a visit. We're open Monday through Thursday, 11 to 4, Fridays and Saturdays, 10 to 5. Admission is always free. We almost always have something going on in the building here. So come see us or visit us on the web for updates about our classes at monroewaltonarts.org. Hope to see you soon. Thanks.
Welcome to another edition of Through the Camera. I'm your photographer, Darrell Everidge. Join me today and tag along as I visit people, places, and things. So grab the family, let's grab a camera, and let's go grab some memories. And we're off. Today our destination is Hard Labor Creek in Rutledge, Georgia. We meet up with Park Ranger Phil, who's going to tell us all about dragonflies.
Everybody, welcome to Hard Labor Creek State Park, and thanks for coming out today. Well, the park wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the Civilian Conservation Corps. This park was actually made in the 1930s, and this lake was built sort of as a filter lake for the bigger lake on the park, Lake Rutledge. But the Civilian Conservation Corps was a program under Franklin Roosevelt during the Great Depression, which put young men back to work, and they built a park here. And it was a very depressed area. This was old agriculture land. It wasn't very productive. Most of the topsoil was gone. So they built a park.
It's nearly impossible to capture the beauty of the dragonfly next to the water. To point and focus, it wasn't easy to keep up with these little creatures, but they were beautiful.
Well, they've got an interesting body plan. They've got 4 wings. They've got a really strong thorax, which is where the muscles are that control how they fly. And they've got kind of long bodies, and they're always pretty brilliant colors. There's a few that are more drab, but one of the cool things about dragonflies is they come in several different colors, blues and greens, and mixes of blacks and blues and greens and yellows. They're very fast. Predators. They can fly about 25 miles an hour. They can hover, which a lot of insects can't do. So they could sit in one place and hover. And they've got eyes that can see almost 360 degrees around them.
Oh, we've had a ball. Very educational. Love it. Have you had fun?
Wow, it's been a fantastic day today. Let's take a look back through the photo album. What a great trip. Thanks for tagging along. Learned a lot about dragonflies. That's this week's edition of Through the Camera. I'm your photographer, Darrell Everidge. Till next time, remember this weekend, grab the family, grab a camera, and go out and grab some memories.
I was first diagnosed with breast cancer in March of 2012, which was 3 days before my husband announced his candidacy for sheriff. Actually, when I found out, I was crushed. Of course, you know the word cancer with anyone. I mean, it's not a good word for anyone with, when they're told that. My first thought was my kids, my husband, what's going to happen. And the doctor continued to reassure me that he could handle the situation. He could get all of it. It was just beginning. After that, I went into surgery in April, and I had a lumpectomy. And after the lumpectomy, I started my chemotherapy in June of 2012, and I finished in August of 2012.
I began to start praying about this immediately because I knew that I needed to be strong for her. And not only that, I knew I had to make another big decision as to what I was going to do. So we began to talk, and she began to remind me that I stated that in my early part of our decision to run for sheriff, that I had faith, that I would prevail this race. And she said if I still had faith, then she had faith that she was going to survive this cancer, and she was going to beat it. And I told her, I says, well, I'm willing to step out of this race because you come first, the family comes first. She says, no, you said you had faith. We're going to believe in that faith. We're going to stand firm and strong on that faith, and you're going to continue to run, and I'm going to beat this cancer. So we began to work together. I told her no matter what, if I had to be at forums, if I had to be at different appointments, she was going to come first, the family was going to come first, and I made that a priority. So throughout her treatments, I made sure that I was at every treatment. I don't believe there was not one treatment that I missed. I was at every treatment, from her radiation to her chemotherapy. I was there for the boys. We didn't inform the boys until we knew that everything was going to be okay. So it was just we began to bond really, really stronger as a husband and wife, as a partner, as best friends, because we knew that we both had to get each other through a couple of races. Her race was to fight for her life, and my race was to win for sheriff, and that's the way, and we kept God first throughout all of this. So that's where we are, and that's how she was able to survive, because we believed in God and we had faith no matter what. We need to enjoy our life because we never know.
And live each day to the fullest.
To the fullest, and we never know when it will change. And so, and we make sure that we spend as much time with the kids as we can because of that experience. So it's changed a lot of ways that we look at things and we think about things and decisions that we make.
What do you decide to do on a Sunday afternoon? Sit on the couch, go outside, start the barbecue? How about jump out of a perfectly good airplane and free fall for about a minute? and then float the rest of the way down with a parachute. Well, not many of us think about doing that on a Sunday or any day, but Karen Galvin decided she would. And so we follow her on her trip and her journey from suiting up to jumping out the door.
What's up, girl?
Not a whole lot. Ready to jump.
Right, it's gonna be fun.
It's my buddy Russell right
That's right,
here.
that's right.
Known him since 6th grade.
That's right.
There's a lot to do before you jump out of the airplane. You must go through tandem training. You go through the do's and don'ts, a little paperwork, a little courage, and then you just get ready to make the jump.
I think Karen's gonna have a good time. I'm gonna mess with her some, so that's part of the fun of it. We do like to joke around here, and we like it when people come out. You know, hopefully they'll like to joke around with us. The better they are, the funner it can be for all of us. So.
Feeling a little apprehensive, anxious, nervous as all get out. Something that's been on my bucket list for a while and finally had the opportunity to do it, so might as well jump.
Skydiving opens up I think it just opens your mind, and you meet some of the nicest people from all over the world, from every walk of life, jumping out of airplanes. Skydiving Monroe's been here I originally opened in 1993, and have trained a tremendous amount of people. We bring people from Newton County, Rockdale, Atlanta, Fulton County, all in Clark County, so it's a great place to come and have an activity for the day.
Show that in mid-flight. Show her that.
That'd be cool. I love you.
Love you too.
See you when I get back down.
See ya.
Maybe.
Maybe.
You'll be fine.
You'll back.
You'll have no problems.
When are you coming back out here? I gotta tell him
I've been
to do
doing
back.
this for so long.
I gotta tell him to do backflips.
Ready? All right.
Don't hurt that guy behind you. Think you can do that? All right. Okay. Number 2 rule.
Check the spot. Line in, lean forward. What's up? Bill, how far out are we? We're on top. We're about 0.5 flyer. We're on top. Down. Kick yourself in the butt hard. Ready? Set. We're on top.
perfectly good airplane. He said stand up on my feet real quick, and I did. Oh my God. I'd recommend anybody that wants to do it to try it at least one time, at least once. I might do it again. Give me about another year, and I'll get my nerve up again. Whew.
What happened to oh no, we did.
So Karen, tell us, I mean, you were up there in that plane, and how was it? I mean, when did the nervous factor really kick in for you?
When I was like at the door ready to go out, on my knees, looking down and realizing how high off the earth I was.
What could you see down there?
Everything. Houses, I could see the airport, most of the landscape, trees, lakes, gardens.
Was your heart beating fast?
Yes, absolutely it was. Well, I got hung up at the door originally because I'm supposed to be on my knees and looking down going, I can't believe I'm doing this. So then when my instructor tells me to pull my knees and back and pull my feet back to my hind end, next thing I know, we're out the door and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs like, I can't believe I'm doing this. But something I've been wanting to do for a while, something I've wanted to do the last couple of years. It's been on my bucket list and I've accomplished it. And I'll do it again.
Wow, what a journey that was. Thanks, Karen, for letting us ride along with you and capture this moment for you and for us. If you're out there and you're bored, you don't have anything to do today, and it's the weekend, grab your family and head out to the local airport here in Monroe with Monroe Skydive and jump out of an airplane. It's not for everybody, but if you're adventurous, it's something fun and exciting to do.